everyone, this is Karen Fomafung, your Agile Evangelist, and welcome back to my channel. So today I have something wonderful for you. I'm very sure you will really appreciate this. I had earlier created a content on a day in the life of a Scrum Master, and that content was greatly appreciated. That content has gone a long way. It has helped so many people in this agile space, even in organizations. The content is being shared there and people use it as a source of training and just to understand, especially incoming Scrum Masters, people that are transitioning into the organization from other roles to becoming a Scrum Master. That particular content, please, you can go back, check the description box. I will put the link to that. It's a video that I clearly explained step by step what a typical Scrum Master would do on a normal day. So when we shared that content, we had so many people also reaching out to ask for a content that they can answer in an interview, because like you all may already know, 99% of the time this question will be asked in a typical Scrum Master interview. So they always like to ask, okay, what does your typical day look like in an interview? So I'm here today with a summarized version that you can take to your interview, and it's gonna be a winning answer for you. Okay, so please stay tuned and watch until the end so you don't miss out on any little piece of this video. Thank you so much. Now, what does a typical day looks like in the life of a Scrum Master? This is an interview question. If I'm being asked this question, like I shared earlier, there is a technique to successfully giving a good answer to this question so you don't end up being all over the place. You don't end up talking about a sprint in the life of a Scrum Master instead of a day in the life of a Scrum Master, because you can easily do that. You can find yourself rambling, not knowing where to end the answer, and then you end up taking almost 10 minutes, 15 minutes to answer that particular question, and they end up being all over the place. You start feeling nervous, you start sweating under your armpits and stuff like that, so well, if I'm being asked this question, I'll just go ahead and say something like, oh, that's a very good question. Thank you so much for this question. It may interest you to know that no 2 days in the life of a Scrum Master actually looks the same. It's actually the same. And the reason is because the role of a Scrum Master, it's different from every other normal role where there are standard routines and stuff like that. The only standards that you may find in the role of a Scrum Master is the event facilitation. Outside of the event facilitation, and just so you know, the event facilitation is just like 20% of your standard role as a Scrum Master. Outside of that, the remaining 80% are the other things that you may face on daily basis. To give you a good summary of this answer, I would just like to pick on one particular day and just focus on that day alone. Let's talk about the last day of the sprint. So as a Scrum Master, on the last day of the sprint, when I come into the office or I log into my computer, I always ensure that I log in at least 15 minutes early or 30 minutes early. Once I log in, I proactively go through my board, just ensure, because typically on the last day of the sprint, we would have our last daily sync, we have the sprint review event, and then we have the sprint retrospective event. That's the way I've done it in the past. And when I log in early, I ensure that I am preparing for all these events, so that by the time we get to it, everything will be running smoothly. Something like the daily sync, when we connect for the daily sync, that is how I've already done a walkthrough of the board just to make sure that I know where everyone is at with your work. And then I connect a little bit early on the daily sync, like 5 minutes early, and I get my board ready and all set up. And then once the meeting starts, team members connect. From a Scrum Master perspective, the way I would facilitate that meeting, I would keep in mind that it's the last day of the sprint, so we will focus on our achievements, just closing out on our work items, the ones that we were not able to accomplish. We discuss why and why we're not able to accomplish. Just close out to see how we've done versus what we plan to do. So as we are discussing in that daily sync, we are also discussing, so it's like a prep for our upcoming review meeting. that is what we usually use the last daily sync to do. It's like a prep for our upcoming review meeting. And when we are discussing in that meeting, we are taking into account, okay, now that we have, so that meeting typically starts at, let's say, 9 o'clock, and then it will happen for like 15 minutes. And then for parking lot, we will quickly prep on we will just do some confirmations on who will do what in our upcoming sprint review that will start at 1 p.m. You see, so we will discuss that, and I make sure that we are clear. I ensure that everyone is clear on who does what during our upcoming sprint review. We are clear on our accomplishments. We are clear on the things that we're not able to accomplish. We are clear on our impediments, our struggles, and who will be communicating that. We are also clear on who will be giving an overview of the sprints. On all these little tasks, I ensure that we pick action item and action item owners for our upcoming sprint review. So once that daily sync is over, everyone goes back and is trying to finish up whatever they are trying to finish up before our sprint review. Now, what I'm doing after that is I am quickly sending up a quick reminder to our stakeholders just to remind them. I'd already previously remind them that there is an upcoming sprint review. I'm sending out a quick reminder just to remind them, create that excitement, that so that they look forward to this sprint review, because I want to encourage attendance. Now, so typically that's around 10 a.m. So in between 10 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. I'm just doing these little preps, reminding our stakeholders that the sprint review is upcoming, and I'm also getting my whole metrics, whatever I will be demonstrating in the sprint review, because typically as a Scrum Master, based on the stakeholders, in my experience, most of the times managers in the meeting wants to know about some certain metrics. So I'm ensuring that I have all those metrics already ready to be pulled up and all of that. And then around between 10:30 and let's say 11:30, that's 1 hour, I'm ensuring that I'm working on these metrics. I'm getting my presentation all lined up, coordinating my thoughts and all of these, prepping for the sprint review and the sprint retrospective. So I also want you to know that this thing I'm doing today is just finishing touches, because I've already proactively do some prep, especially for the retro the previous day or a day before, like prepping the board. If we are using the mirror board, I'm prepping the board, prepping the cards and all of that, so that when we connect for this meeting, we are just flowing instead of staying there and prepping for the meeting, you see. So I will do all of that prep for around 1 hour. Now, in between, let's say 11:30 to 12 noon. Okay, I like to always quickly connect with my PO just to ensure that we are in sync. Everything is okay. My PO is comfortable and my PO is as confident as ever for us to connect for the sprint review. You see, so I'll do that for 30 minutes. And then from 12:30 to 1 p.m., I'm just taking a little break. No, let's say from 12:30 to 12:45, I'm taking a quick little break. You see, I'll take a quick little break and to do lunch and all of that, and just re-energize my system. And then after that, I connect like 15 minutes to our sprint review meeting. 15 minutes to our sprint review meeting, I'm already settled, so that I will not be nervous and everything is just calm and nice. And by the time it's 1 o'clock, when stakeholders start connecting for this meeting, everything is already ready. And when we connect for the meeting, as a Scrum Master, my role in this meeting is to ensure that everything is running smoothly. Most of the time, the PO will facilitate this meeting. But from a Scrum Master perspective, like I said, I would typically help out by demonstrating the metrics and transitioning from one person to the other. But for the most part, this meeting is owned by the PO, so I'm just there to ensure that I'm catching on any potential impediments. The behaviors are demonstrated, the Scrum values are being demonstrated in this meeting. I'm just picking on all these things and opportunities to improve. So I'm just really staying alert and watching out what's going on in this meeting, you see. And then now, once this meeting is over and all the close out happens and we identify action items for improvements, we to adapt our future backlog. Right after that, we usually schedule our retrospective to happen right after that meeting. So once the so it ends at 2 p.m. So it typically takes 1 hour, and then once the meeting ends at 2 p.m., we have our retro like 15 minutes after 2, so that people can just have a little break of 15 minutes between these two meetings. You see, so 15 minutes after 2 o'clock, we are connecting for our retrospective. Our retrospective typically takes like 1 hour, sometimes 1 hour 30 minutes, but we have it on our calendar standard for 1 hour 30 minutes, but we hardly ever use all the 1 hour 30 minutes. So we connect for our retrospective, and in the retrospective, I facilitate the retrospective as a Scrum Master. So we also ensure that, we evaluate everything around the sprint from a product perspective, from the Scrum perspective, from tools and technique perspective, and everything around what we have done in the past 2 weeks. And after that, I ensure that we identify at least one action item for improvement, and we identify the action item owner. And, I just celebrate the team, and, as a team, we wrap it up nicely, and then we close. And once the meeting is over, I just go back. That's around 3:30, 4 p.m. You see, 3:30, 4 p.m. And then I go back during that 1 hour. I'm just sitting back to, just review everything that has happened in the day and prep for the next day. So we typically have our new sprint planning the very next day. So the very first day of the sprint, we do not have a daily scrum. You see, and now I'm just prepping for the upcoming sprint planning for the next day, getting my board set up, getting everything just ready, and then by 5 o'clock, that's it for me. I close for the day. So as you can see, the last day of the sprint, which that's how a typical day looks like, it's a very busy day, and every other day, it's not like that, you see. So in summary, that's how a typical summarized day of the life of a Scrum Master will look like. Now, I hope this was helpful. Thank you so very much. And if you have your own opinion, how you've done it in your organization, how you do it in your organization, I'm always very open to learning. I want to know. Please leverage the comment section, drop your thoughts there, and hope to talk to you next week. Again, my name is Karen Fomafung, your favorite Agile Evangelist. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.